If you've just become a new fan of Formula One, there are definitely some questions that you'll be asking yourself about the sport. One big question for me was, why is Pirelli the only tyre manufacturer for every single F1 car? Wouldn't the sport be better if you had different tyre manufacturers competing with other tyre manufacturers to get the best tyres on the cars? In a very similar way to how some cars on the track share power units, but every other aspect of the car is completely different. We could do the same with tyres, creating even more competition in the sport, creating another layer to strategy. Formula One hasn't always been a single tyre manufacturer sport. There have been many times throughout its history where we've had up to 5 different tyre manufacturers on the track at the same time. In fact, Pirelli isn't even the longest tyre manufacturer in the sport. Except for modern fans, Pirelli is the only tyre manufacturer they've known. But wouldn't we have better tyres if we had different tyre manufacturers competing against each other? History dictates that isn't the case. Once they start competing with each other, they're going to make more risks and it just isn't worth it. Eventually, it is a downward spiral until they become unsafe and accidents happen. But with one tyre manufacturer, the FIA can control the strategy of the races and try and make the sport more exciting by leveling the playing field and asking Pirelli to make a few specific design choices with their tyres. For example, Pirelli have said that they can make a soft tyre last way longer than 13 laps. By the time a driver has gone around the track about 10 times in soft tyres, the commentators will start talking about how it's time for a pit. You will start hearing the driver talking over their radio about how it's time to come in for a change, or they get the call to box. There is a part of me that really does want to see a few different manufacturers on the track at the same time. It just creates more interesting conversation about why tyre manufacturers are with what team and what teams are getting from different sets of tyres. I can imagine a situation where mediums on Pirellis are nowhere near as good as mediums on Michelin's, but the Pirelli softs are the best. That could be the kind of conversation that commentators are having where it isn't just about the power unit, it isn't just about aerodynamics, it's just another layer. But history dictates, with multiple tyre manufacturers on the track, the races just won't be as exciting. So yeah, Pirelli are locked in as sole tyre manufacturer until the end of 2024, I think, which means potentially we could see a new tyre manufacturer on the track, which is kind of exciting to me. But as a fan who's only ever known Pirelli to be on F1 cars in the modern era, it would feel really strange to me to all of a sudden see someone else, but of course it's possible, and of course I'd like to see it. Obviously, I'm a relatively new fan of the sport. I love it, and Pirellis are synonymous with F1 for me, even though I do know there's a long history of other tyre manufacturers. Just F1 right now is Pirelli. So if it changes in a couple of years, that will be really fascinating how it changes the sport. If you've made it this far into another one of my videos, I'd really appreciate it if you commented below. Please hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you think. See you in the next video.